Welcome to Pera's Playbook. This is your host, Alex Pera. Let's open up our playbook and see who our guest is. Please enjoy. Welcome to episode 163 of Pera's Playbook. Today we're joined by Cristyn Oliver. She runs track and cross country at Lawrence University. Thanks for hopping on. How are you?
I'm good. Good. Doing good.
Glad to have you here. I know,
Mhm.
before we started recording, we were talking about weather. And I mean, now you're in the spring sports season with track, but depending on where you are in the country, it sure doesn't feel like spring.
No, it does not.
You guys practicing outside all the time, or do you do
Oh,
indoor stuff?
yeah.
Or
We do not have an indoor track here, so we practice outside basically all year round. Um, so yeah, it's kind of tough in the winter, but it's actually not too bad right now. It could be way worse.
yeah. So what do you do if it gets really cold, like in the teens or?
Yeah, we just run it on the treadmill. Like he'll just kind of, our coach will just have us run, like yeah, treadmill or we do swim workouts occasionally, but yeah, mostly just on our own.
Yeah, swim workouts. I
Yeah.
remember doing those in high school for our track team because our track coach was also the swim coach. I hated the swim workouts
Oh
because I
yeah.
was not a good swimmer at all.
Yeah, a lot of our team, they're not good at swimming either.
Yeah, you could always tell what kids did track and swimming because they, lap
hmm
you or.
Yeah.
Oh, so let's talk a little bit kind of about your recruiting journey and stuff. I mean, you're from California and then you go to
hmm
school in Wisconsin. So I mean, not even close, other side of the country. So let's start there with your recruiting and why you picked Lawrence.
Yeah. So I was recruited way back in 2020, during the COVID era. Um, I honestly wanted to go anywhere that would take me like for running. So I was kind of just looking at a lot of, the liberal arts, D3 schools, kind of just scattered everywhere. Um, and my coach, his name is Coach Fast. He recruited me through email and I visited Lawrence in March of 2020, so like literally right before they shut everything down. And I really liked, I actually really liked Wisconsin, and just the team and everything that Lawrence had to offer. They had my major, they had, just this really tight-knit community. I've always gone to really small schools my whole life. I went to my high school was only like 800 people. So I really like just being at a school where the population is really small. So I liked that about Lawrence. And, Wisconsin is actually kind of nice. It's not as overwhelming as where I'm from. So I'm from Los Angeles. So it's very, very crowded and just lots of people. And it's kind of a nice break from that. But I do like when I go home and I get that like taste of home again. But then it's nice to come back to this kind of like low-key environment in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I really like
Yeah.
the Green Bay, Appleton, Oshkosh area. It's like
Mhm.
big enough where there's lots of stuff to do, but it's not so big where it's overwhelming, and you don't have to drive that far. Where like all
Yeah,
of a
that's
sudden
also
you're
nice.
you're not in the hustle and bustle anymore.
hmm
There's plenty to do, if you like outdoorsy stuff like Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota.
hmm
Obviously, there's plenty of like outdoor hiking and rivers and lakes and all plenty of stuff to do if you're into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Was the weather shock? Like, was that a shock at all? Like the winters?
Yeah, it was. My freshman year was probably the coldest that I've still seen here. So I think for about 2 or 3 weeks we couldn't run outside because it was just so cold. And there was a lot of snow that year too. So that was really fun. I never grew up in a snowy area. Like I'd seen snow before, but I hadn't seen it in like a long time. So when I came here, I was like really excited to like go in the snow.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh my God, go away. I don't want you anymore. Because
Yeah. Well,
it's just all the time.
at this point in the year too, like it's horrible, right? It's April.
Yeah.
Everywhere else in the country is feeling spring, but if you're stuck up here in the Midwest, it's like never ending.
Even if you just go 3 hours south to like Illinois, it's so much warmer. But like here, it's freezing.
Yeah, that's how like in Michigan, like all the kids from downstate, like when I was in college, they'd go home during spring break or whatever, and they'd have green grass, and here I am stuck up in Houghton, and there's 3 feet of snow in my front yard. It's just it's almost it's kind of depressing, right? Like you just want to
Yeah.
see some grass, I want to go for a walk. I don't want to have to
Some
put my
sun.
jacket on.
Yeah.
Yeah, winters are long. I mean, I like winter activities, but I feel like I'd be really happy if winter was maybe December 1st to January 31st, and then it was over.
Oh yeah.
Just two
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
So which sport do you like better? Cross country or track?
I always say cross country. Track has a lot of fun events. Like I like watching all those events in track. Like, one of my favorite events to watch is the steeplechase outdoor. Like that one's just so much fun. But I love cross country. It's an equalizer. Everyone has to run the same distance and it's on the grass and like it's just always so much fun. And I always just have, for some reason, like done very well in cross country over track. I mean, I can do track well, but I always just excelled in cross country. Um,
Yeah.
it's because I loved it so much. It's so much fun to just like get on a course that's not in circles and kind of all the time. Like yeah, I love cross country.
Yeah, I feel like I was the opposite when in high school. I liked track a lot more than I
Mhm.
ever liked cross country. And I think it was because I liked the other events. Like when I was a senior in high school, I ended up hurdling,
Oh
and
yeah.
I liked that way more than like freshman, sophomore, junior years. I did distance, and I never excelled at it. I hated it, honestly. Um,
Yeah.
but if you like cross country, obviously you like running long
hmm
distances. Like like for practice? How far do you run usually?
Um, it depends on like what mileage week it is. So for example, this week I'm doing 80% of my like max mileage. So I only have to run 44 miles this week. So
Only.
each day, yeah. So each day, like with I always count my long run. So for my long run, I'm doing 12 miles. But my average, like mileage for like a regular day can be anywhere from like 6 to 8 miles for this week. Um, that's like not even my highest though. Like on 100% weeks, I end up doing like 8 or 9 miles a day with a 14-mile long run. And that's coming up in like a few weeks, so I'll be doing that. But this week's not even like that bad, which is saying something for people who don't run long distances.
Yeah, that sounds just so terrible when you say like 14
Yeah.
miles. Like, oh my gosh, I can barely walk. I couldn't even walk 14 miles. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's
I
a thing that a lot of people just like sometimes can't like comprehend, I guess.
yeah, and the way I like for
Yeah.
me, where I live and where I work, it's about 13 miles. So like I'm
hmm
picturing if I ran to work and how
Oh
long that would be.
yeah.
And like that's just, it takes me 20 minutes to drive there in the car due to starts and stops and whatever. Like I'm just like, man, that's far, to just go out
hmm
for a run. That's kind
Yeah.
of but distance runners, you're kind of like a different breed, right? Like not everybody likes that. Not everyone gets that
hmm
runner's high. Obviously distance runners
Yeah.
do, or you wouldn't be doing it.
Because I have a lot of friends that like track more and like they'll do the 800 and stuff. So they don't like the super long distance stuff or like long runs in general.
Right. And then
But that's
often,
so, I get that. Like if I was them, I would also not enjoy that.
right. But sometimes don't, 800 runners kind of get lumped into that like bottom of the distance group for track.
Yeah, they still do cross country too, and they always don't. And like most of the track people like do not enjoy cross country as much as they do for track.
Yeah. Do they just do it for
Mhm.
the extra training or?
Our coach like makes the whole like our distance group is like a that's just like the group we are, and he has basically everybody that does like 400, 800, some 400 people will do cross country, and then like yeah, it's everybody.
Yeah. So you've got some people that love it and some people that are just doing it because they
Yeah,
have
pretty
to.
much. Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. So speaking of cross country, something that's pretty cool is you get to compete at the Division 3 championships. I mean, that had to be an amazing experience getting to run against the best Division 3 runners in the entire country.
Yeah, it was really fun. Unfortunately, I did not make it this year, which was sad because it was my fifth year, but like, and it was my best season this year. So, but the course that we were at this year was really tough. But that year I made it my sophomore year, and it was so cool. Like, you got to experience like racing against everybody who is like who could be your pace. And like you are never by yourself in the race. Like there's always just like this massive crowd of people running with you. And it's kind of like the most insane race I've ever been at. But it was the most fun race that I've ever run because it was just amazing experience to like compete with people from all over the country. Like my starting box, I think I was with people from like California and like the East Coast, like people from everywhere. Um, and just being able to like also the course was really cool. It was in Kentucky. So yeah, it was just really, really cool to do that. I wish I would have gone this year, but things happen and it is what it is.
Right. At least you got to experience it one time in
Yeah.
your college career, which is
hmm
pretty cool. Uh, Kentucky, what was the temperature like down
It was like
south?
the most perfect weather. It was like 50 and sunny for that race. And for
Yeah.
cross country, that's like amazing. Honestly, for outdoor track, that's also really nice. But that day was like the most perfect day to run. No wind either. Like it was just like sunny and nice, cool temperatures.
Yeah. And coming like from a team up in the Midwest, like you can't take weather for granted, you know.
Yeah, seriously.
And running in crappy conditions, obviously it sucks if it's too cold, right? I mean, your muscles tighten up. I mean, it's
hmm
just not enjoyable. It's hard to breathe. I mean, there's a million
Yeah.
things that make it difficult to run when the weather's not prime. The wind's cutting through you, whatever it is.
hmm Yeah.
So you kind of mentioned, your fifth year now. I mean, can you like
hmm
believe looking back, at college? I mean, I feel like everyone always tells you when you get to college, like, oh, it's gonna go by so fast. And I remember being a freshman in college and thinking, like, yeah, right, like it's 4 years. But then you end up in your final year and you kind of look back and it is crazy. It's like a blink of an eye.
hmm Yeah, it is kind of crazy how fast it's gone by. Um, and it's also crazy because I didn't think I would be here for like the entire fifth year or even for fifth year at all. Like that was never in my mind. Until like I kind of talked to my coach and he kind of like almost convinced me, but also I realized like what potential I had left in me after my outdoor season last year. And I realized like, okay, I could probably like win another conference title in cross country and we could win as a team. And we did do that this year. And I think it was totally worth it to stay for that because that was really fun. We won conference on our home course here in Appleton and it was just really awesome. So I don't regret staying at all for my fifth year. I think it's definitely been different because, I don't really have to take any really vigorous course loads, but it's been kind of a nice, just like chill year and kind of like a weird gap year before graduate school. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you get to add some more memories, accomplish something
hmm
with your team, kind of go out
Yeah.
on top, which is
hmm
always makes it worth it, like you said, to come back. Do you have any big goals for this your final, track season as we're in the spring here?
Yeah. I wanna, so last year I got second in every race that I was in at conference. So I want to win at least one. And I want to, hit some PRs. I've got like, um, let's see, I want to run like just faster in every event I do. So in outdoor, I do the 1500 and the 5K, and I would like to run like more school records because I have the school records in those. So I want to break those again, and maybe even like a really reach goal for me would be to go to nationals for outdoor. I got to run really fast for that, but I'm definitely gonna try my best. But yeah, those are pretty much my goals for this last season. Just trying to end on a bang because last year I ended pretty nicely on outdoor, and I want to try to just kind of keep that momentum up.
Yeah, your school's got to update their records. I saw that you broke it, and I was trying to find it online, unless I was looking in the wrong
Yeah.
spot. And they're like, they haven't updated their website in a while.
Oh, yeah. I broke the record, both the 5K and the 1500 last year. I have had the 5K record since my freshman year, but I had never broken 18 until this year, until last year. So that was a really big like jump for me in the 5K, but I didn't even know if I was gonna get the 15. That one I'm not like I can do mid distance, but I'm definitely more of a distance runner, so that was really nice to get that 1500 one too.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
cool, right? You get to kind of leave your name etched in the Lawrence history books and leave
Yeah.
your like a real mark. Obviously, everybody leaves a mark on the program in some way, being a part of the team, but you're leaving a real mark on there, and hopefully they
Mhm.
update the record so everybody can see it on the website.
Yeah, yeah. They should
I
do that.
know.
Our like sports guy is like really good at doing that. So I don't
Maybe I was
know.
looking in the wrong place. Maybe I was looking at something old and outdated. I could have been
Yeah.
looking in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Could be on me. I know some schools like they just kind of update it every few years too. Like I know there's like some, teams maybe they do it every 3 years or something like that.
Hmm.
So maybe they do something like that for your
Yeah.
school too. Do you have any post college running goals? Do you want to do marathons or Ironmans or any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I do. Because I'm gonna need like a goal for like, after I'm done. Like I like having a goal. So I am hoping to do a marathon, in the fall. The Fox Cities Marathon is one that I could do. It's relatively inexpensive for a marathon and I want to get into doing like longer stuff because I feel like it'd be kind of cool to try it. Yeah, just kind of signing up for a race to do that. And then, my one goal that I have for like life is just to run the Boston Marathon at some point, but I have a long time before I do that, but I want to try that.
Yeah, yeah. That I mean, obviously, that's one of the top, most notable ones in the country. Um,
Yeah.
so that'd be pretty cool if you're into, running long distance. Obviously, pretty cool thing to have on your bucket list. Do you want to? Are you going to stay around Appleton when you graduate, or do you have plans to venture
Yeah,
out?
so I'm going to graduate school at UW Green Bay, so I will still be like in the area. So that's why I kind of picked Fox Cities because it's right there. And I've also seen a couple of my friends do it before, so
Yeah,
kind of cool.
yeah. You must like the area if you're sticking around.
Yeah, I mean Green Bay also, they have the program that I wanted, so it works for me.
Yeah. What are you going for?
My master's in sports psychology, so
Okay.
I'm very excited for that one.
Yeah. What do you want to do with that, or do you not know exactly yet?
There's a lot of things I could do, surprisingly. I think I want to either, consult or like work at a university. Like they have like big D1 universities usually have like a sports psychologist that they utilize. So I'd like to maybe try that. But right now I'm not completely sure yet.
Yeah. It's got to
Yeah.
be a growing field with the kind
It
of the stigma
is.
changing, and now it's more talked about, and more athletes are coming out, and more schools, like you said, have people in place for their programs.
Hmm.
With mental health, it's now taking a spot in the front. It's not pushed aside as much anymore, and we're just making more progress every year. So it's got to be a kind of a growing field, I would imagine now.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Yeah.
really awesome. That
Hmm.
I mean, it's kind of dumb when you think about it, like that we're celebrating it. Like we shouldn't have, like, it should just be common, right? Like that we care about
Yeah.
mental health. Like for so many years, it was like, right, you're an athlete, you've got to be tougher than that. You've got
Hmm.
to hush it under the rug or whatever. And I've
Yeah.
spoke with some former professional athletes that had mental health issues, and maybe they play one of them played hockey back in the 80s, and now he does a lot of work with young athletes and mental
Hmm.
health, and just listening to his stories, but the way it used to be, it's really crazy that that's the way it was.
Yeah. I know. And it's so nice that it's kind of something that I could do because I'm interested in psychology and sports. So it's so great that I could just like combine them.
Right. Yeah, and I
Yeah,
mean, it's like it's such nonsense. I feel like some people look at somebody, it's like you are just an athlete. It's like, well, no, I mean, you're also a person that has
exactly.
life
Yeah.
problems just like the rest of us. You've got anxieties and stresses and other things going
Hmm.
on in your life just because you're an athlete that, so I mean, it's yeah, it's great that you're going into that field and you can work in that. And it's got to be very rewarding too with like work with athletes and help them work through whatever, especially if you get like with a program. I would imagine then you're going to kind of become connected with students while they're at that school for 4 years or
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So I was looking at your Instagram and I saw you have a little fishing highlight. Is that something that you did back in California, or you just picked up when you got to Wisconsin?
No, I picked that up here. I fished like once when I was like 10, but I had never been like consistent with it. I haven't really been consistent with it now because the weather kind of sucks. Um, Even though I think the fish like rainy weather. Like I feel like the best time to go out is when it's like raining, and like mornings. But that's kind of doesn't work for me sometimes. But I definitely want to go back out again at some point, like when it's nice out, when I have time. But I picked it up my summer of like before my senior year. My friend and I just like would get really bored here on campus, and we're just like, "You want to go fishing?" So we would just go down to the Fox River and go fishing. And it's fun. I went a lot more last year too, but yeah, I want to go again because it's just like I need a hobby to do when I'm done with running. Like, well, I'm done with running, but I'm gonna keep running, but I want to fish more. It's fun to do.
You'll have more time. Like when that's the one thing
Oh
I hear
yeah.
from college athletes. Like you don't have time for as many hobbies because you're so focused on your
Hmm.
sport.
Yeah. And it's like I'm already like excited. Well, I'm like gonna be sad that it's gonna be over, but I'm also like kind of pumped to have my own schedule. Like I can run whenever I want to and then make time for everything else too. So
Yeah,
I'm excited for that part.
right. Yeah, yeah. Fishing, yeah, like you said, that it's better when it's crappy and rainy. It's cloudy
Hmm.
and the fish. You don't have a shadow like over the water. I feel like you're
Yeah.
not spooking the fish. Um, but yeah, it's obviously less desirable to be out in the crappy weather. Um,
Yeah.
unless you're all geared up with your
Hmm.
rain jacket and fishing gear or whatever, then I guess it's not too bad. Avid fishermen, I mean, I feel like got people, they fish they get out on their boat and they go every day no matter rain,
Oh
shine,
yeah.
whatever.
Oh, I know. I'm not that avid, but I think it is a fun hobby and I do want to like learn more about it, but it's kind of been hard when I just don't have time with running and sports,
Yeah,
but when I have more time, I'll definitely want to try some more.
it is a fun hobby, and I've never been like a seafood fan. I've never loved eating fish,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I love fishing. Like it's fun. It's a relaxing, enjoyable thing to do in the late spring, summer, into fall.
Hmm. Yeah,
Do you like fish?
I do. I like sushi. Um, I eat salmon too. Like I think seafood is good. I sort of just, I actually didn't really like seafood that much when I grew up in California. I was very picky, but like now that I'm older, like I love like eating sushi or fish. It's so good.
Yeah. And I'm not like total anti, like there's
Hmm.
different dishes. Like my parents used to make this like crab bisque soup that I
Oh
liked, and
yeah.
like crab Alfredo and stuff like that. But like I wouldn't find myself just like, "Hey, I'm just gonna order a plate of whitefish or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit better if it's breaded. Like
Hmm.
when I was over in Europe in high school, my like, school had a travel club, so I figured like I should try fish and chips. And we were in like an authentic Wales fishing village, and I tried it, and I was like, well, this is good, but it's not
Yeah.
something I would kind of seek out as like, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
So why don't we kind of wrap up on music? I'm guessing
Oh
you listen to
yeah.
me like running. Obviously, if you're running a long time, it's not
Yeah.
enjoyable to do it in silence.
No, it's not. I usually when I'm by myself, I bring my phone and my AirPods because I need some music.
What's your running vibe? What do you listen to?
I listen to like rock mostly when I run. I'll throw in some rap music, but I'm really more of a rock person. Like let's see, I like to run to Metallica and like Led Zeppelin. Any kind of like oldies are really good. That's kind of what I've been on lately too, just like normal. Like I listen to oldies like Fleetwood Mac, the Eagles. I really like all those ones right now. Um, yeah, that's kind of what I've just been repeating so far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good stuff.
It's
Classics,
good.
classic rock.
Yeah.
Although I've never been, and this is an unpopular opinion, but I've never liked the Eagles because I think they're overplayed. Like you turn on the radio
Really.
and they're always
I
on, and
don't hear them
I
on
know
the
that's
radio.
I know that's kind of an unpopular opinion because I know a lot of people love the Eagles.
Yeah, that is kind of unpopular because I most people I talk to like really like them. I think I've only met one other person that thinks the Eagles are overrated. But other than that, like most people like them.
Yeah, I've got a few of those unpopular. I think Guns N' Roses is overrated. I think
Oh
Motley Crue
wow.
is overrated. And I think the Eagles and then Bob Seger. Those are the four. And
Mm,
people kind of like it. And I love classic rock. Like, don't get me wrong,
yeah.
like I can get behind some Styx or some 38 Special or
Hmm.
whatever, Boston and Kansas and all the like Fleetwood Mac, like you said. I mean, they're
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
they
Metallica,
are.
great. Def Leppard, all that stuff.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, there's I don't know those four bands for some reason when they come on the radio, I'm just like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is because I know a lot of
Yeah.
people are huge
Oh, I
fans
know.
of those.
Yeah. I think that Bob Dylan is kind of overrated. Like, I think,
Really?
I don't know why. I just listen to his music and I'm like, it's just okay to me, which is funny because I just came out with that movie about him. But I'm like, I listen to it. I'm like, I just don't, it's all right. It's nothing
It's
crazy.
it's funny you say that because just like an hour before doing this, I recorded with a lady um, who's an actress and a singer, and we were talking about different musicians, and she mentioned Bob Dylan and his lyrics, and I was like all on board, like yeah, I love Bob Dylan, and I have the movie bookmarked on Hulu to watch, and it's funny that
Hmm.
you said that, but I mean that's the thing about music, right? Like everybody's got their own taste. The
Yeah,
bands I think are
exactly.
overrated. Obviously,
Hmm.
the bands you think are overrated, they're different for whatever reason. Everyone vibes with different stuff. I mean, people find some off the wall band that nobody's ever heard of, and they'll like, oh man, this is the greatest thing I've ever
Oh,
heard
yeah.
because you just vibe with that sound for whatever reason.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what makes music great. It's like,
Hmm.
and you can really connect with it. Like I know personally, I have
Yeah.
songs if I'm in a bad mood or if I'm trying to get amped up or if I need to relax. Like I've got certain stuff I know I'm going to go to and it's going to make me feel better.
Yeah.
So if you're not running, what do you listen to? I mean, you mentioned like rock. Like let's say you were just vibing, just hanging out.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess I still listen to like classic rock. And I listen to like I don't know, I kind of like Tame Impala too. They're good. Um this other band I really like is called the Backseat Lovers. I don't know where they're from, but they're kind of like a smaller one, but I really like their latest album, so they're pretty good too. Like those are kind of when I'm just like relaxing, like chilling, but I usually try to amp myself up like before practice, so that's why I listen to a lot of classic rock and also there's just a lot of good songs that I like and that's basically what I've been listening to as of late. So, yeah.
Yeah. What type of genre is that? The Backstreet Lovers.
It's kind of like I think it's just kind of like they're kind of rock, but like it's kind of like indie, I think. I don't really know how to
Yeah.
describe it.
Okay. I'll have to look them up. I'm always down to find new things or
Hmm.
try new music. So that'll be my music suggestion for the day.
Yeah.
I've been really into, I'm probably gonna butcher his name, but Damiano David. He's the lead singer of Main Skin. I don't know if you're familiar,
Oh,
with the
yeah, I
Beggin and
am.
and
Mm-hmm.
they had a couple other hits, but now he's doing a lot of solo stuff. He just
Mm-hmm.
released a few songs, and he's got an album coming out in May, and I've just really been hooked on his newest couple songs, and like I'm super hyped for his album to come out. He sounds different than he does in Main Skin. Like he's kind of got that like gargly like
Oh
voice in
yeah.
main, but he's like totally opposite with his solo stuff. It's like a
That's
smooth,
interesting.
and I don't know, I've really been vibing with it.
Yeah.
So there's my music tip for everyone for the day.
Yeah.
But cool. I think that good place to wrap up the episode. I appreciate you coming on. Wish you the best of luck with the rest of your final season here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for more episodes soon.